What is going on, Dragon Ball fans? Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Q&A video where today we have lots of awesome questions to go through. So again, I thank you all for tuning in and watching. If you guys have any questions of your own to ask me, simply drop your Dragon Ball related questions down in the comment section down below. And if you guys differ from my opinions, in which case I would love to hear, then simply drop them down below as well, as we always like to talk Dragon Ball down in the comments. So without wasting any time, guys, let's go on ahead and begin with our very first question, which is from Cash. To answer this, my questions are: do you think we'll ever see Oob in Dragon Ball Super? Question 2, for the Multiverse Tournament, who do you think will stay on Universe 6 team, Champa's team? Who will be on Universe 7's team, Beerus' team? Final question, do you think there will be another arc after the Multiversal Tournament? If so, how many more do you think there'll still be? Alright, well, thank you for the questions, by the way. Again, guys, if you guys have any questions to ask me, drop them down below. Now, to answer your first question, Oob within Dragon Ball Super, yes. He was mentioned prior to our heroes fighting Universe 6, in which case Goku, spoke about, this person having to exist who is supposed to be Kid Buu incarnated and stuff. And, Vegeta, I think Vegeta mentioned him by name. But will we ever see Oob in Dragon Ball Super? I do believe we will, and I think it'll be towards the end of Dragon Ball Super. I would really love to see how Oob was able to help his village out, help his mom out, and pretty much operate like on a day-to-day basis, because we saw him entering the tournament during like the final episodes of Dragon Ball Z, but we never understood, the hardships he went through. We never really got to see what he went through and all the stuff that he endured. So I think it'll be really cool to see Oob, or at least get like the final scene to where Goku fights with Oob at the tournament and stuff like that. Would be really awesome to see. I mean, that all depends, of course, on, the direction of Dragon Ball Super. If they plan on changing the ending, if they plan on doing things outside of Dragon Ball Super, extending past the 10-year gap. So hopefully enough, I really hope that we do get to see Oob, because he was mentioned at one point. But aside from that, we're just going to have to wait and see. Now, to answer your second question, a part of Universe 6, I think that we'll definitely see Hit and Kaba return without a shadow of a doubt. I really doubt that we'll get to see someone like Frost or someone like Boltamo in a way. Champa might surprise us and include a few other characters, but that all dwindles down as to how many participants are allowed per universe. So if it's only 3 per universe, I mean, I guess you can have Hit, Kaba, and Magetta. But if they can allow you to have more than just, 3 people, maybe 5 people, maybe 7 people, then I can see Champa either bringing back Boltamo, not so much Frost, because he tried to, like just mess everyone over. But I can definitely see Hit and Kaba return without a shadow of a doubt. So, but like, what'll be even more awesome is if like Universe 6 and 7 decided to work together. Therefore, the team of Universe 6/7 would be Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Hit, and Kaba. Like, that'd be really cool. So, but a part of Universe 7, however, I like, for me at least, I would love to see Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Future Trunks, and Piccolo. That would be my 5-man roster for Team Universe 7 going into this multiversal tournament. But I would love to see Gohan train prior to this, because having this guy go in there and fight and represent his universe, I mean, you can't just send them in there like the way he is now. So, but for Universe 6, it's kind of hard to say, because we don't know the full extent as to what the hell happened as soon as Champa went back in his universe. So, and to answer your final question, do I believe there will be another arc after the Multiverse Tournament? Honestly, I don't think so. I'm sorry to say, maybe there might be another arc after the Future Trunks arc, and then that leads into the Multiversal Tournament. But in terms of this multi-universal tournament, I really doubt that it gets any bigger or better than this, because you're involving all of the universes. You're involving all of the gods of destructions. You are involving the Omni King. You're involving the Daishinkan. You're involving everyone. So this is going to be a grand battle. And I do think it'll really be extended, because you can't really have somewhat of like a multiversal tournament and just have it be like told like within like 10 episodes or something. So I would love to see more arcs, don't get me wrong, especially having to follow the Future Trunks arc, which is pretty hard to follow, because thus far we have Zamasu tricking everyone, we have Black Goku, who's been remaining a mystery, we have Vegeta, who's been stabbed, we see the Omni King get involved, we see Beerus and Whis all confused. Like, shit is really going down. So like, for them to include more arcs, you're gonna have to tell a much better story than this. And I'm sorry to say, but I don't think it gets any better than this. Like, this has been such a great arc, and so it's kind of hard to really pinpoint and say, well, there may or may not be, because who knows, there could be. I would love to see that, yes. I would love to see multiple arcs. If you guys disagree, comment down below. But I do think the Multiverse Tournament, the Omni Tournament, is going to be the final be-all, end-all arc, so... But anyways, my friend, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a blessed day, my friend. And now, so moving on to the next question, which is from Vincent. Question number 1, Superman versus the Omni King. Oh no. Oh no, we're gonna have a Superman war down in the comments. Oh man. Question 2, The Flash versus Whis. Oh no, please don't add comic book characters into this, man. People are gonna start bitching. Question 3, Super Saiyan 5 Vegeta versus Black Goku. Question number 4, Super Saiyan Blue Gotenks if he kept training versus Beerus. Question number 5, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly versus Gohan. Keep up the awesome work. I love your videos. Have an awesome day, bro. Thank you so much. And thank you for starting a war, especially with the first question. Alright, Superman versus the Omni King. I'm sorry to say, Superman fans, but if you have an entity out there who's able to wipe out entire universes within like a blink of an eye, then I'm going to have to go with the Omni King. In terms of battle power, we haven't seen him fight at all. I really doubt that the Omni King could, like, you know, lift up entire planets and stuff like Superman, but the Omni King has tremendous power, I believe, at least. So having Superman fight this you know, being that hails on the top of the food chain throughout the entire multiverse, I'm gonna have to go with the Omni King on this one, because I believe the Omni King could easily just send Superman out there in a different dimension, or just send them out there somewhere where he could really get fucked up. Or perhaps even if this was like canonized or something, like if we did have the Omni King fight Superman, I think the Omni King would be like the underdog going into this, even though he is stronger. But I'm gonna have to say the Omni King, man. Like the Omni King all the way over Superman. Sorry, guys. To answer your second question, Flash versus Whis. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to go with Whis, and the reason why is because despite how fast the Flash is, and he is incredibly fast, I think that Whis' body motions and like his movement and his unpredictability factor will serve a great purpose going into this fight against Flash. Despite how fast the Flash may be, I think that Whis would be able to pick up the vibrations within the atmosphere, thus stopping Flash. You guys forget that Whis fought Goku and Vegeta at the exact same time, and literally, like, none of them were able to land a single hit. There was even an instance where he blocked both of their punches with, like, his thumb and his pinky, so that's scary. So I'm gonna have to go with Whis on this one. To answer your third question, Super Saiyan 5 Vegeta versus Black Goku. Super Saiyan 5 all the way. In Dragon Ball AF, Super Saiyan 5 was said to be so strong that it literally shook the foundation of, like, the galaxy, the universe. It's that powerful. And even Goku, when he first showcased the form to Pikkon and when he first used it against Zycor, it was a very uncontrollable power. But even with that being said, the amount of power behind that form is immense. I believe way more powerful than the Super Saiyan Rose Black Goku would be. So thus, using Super Saiyan 5, having to be leagues above Super Saiyan 4, leagues above Super Saiyan Blue, and I believe leagues above Black, I would have to go with Super Saiyan 5 on this one. If anybody out there disagrees with Super Saiyan 5 versus Black, comment down below. To answer your fourth question, Super Saiyan Blue Gotenks versus Beerus, I'm going to have to go with Beerus. I don't think Gotenks... I mean, Gotenks would be strong if he kept training and if he became an adult, and he was able to achieve Super Saiyan Blue, and he was able to pretty much take the fight serious, then yeah, he would be a problem. But towards the end of it, however, I think Beerus' tactics would prove to be too much, especially for Gotenks. So this is not Goku and Vegeta we're talking about here. This is Goten and Trunks. So I would have to go with Beerus on this one. And to answer your final question, if you're talking about Super Saiyan Blue Broly, then obviously Broly, if he has Super Saiyan Blue power, that's obviously ahead of Gohan. But if we're talking about any other form of legendary Super Saiyan for Broly, I'm gonna have to go with Gohan. But in terms of Super Saiyan Blue versus Gohan, I'll have to go with Super Saiyan Blue. So anyways, Vincent, thank you for the questions, my friend, and I hope you have an awesome day, bro. And now I'm moving on to the next question, which is from Evan. Let me start by saying thank you for producing such great content. Thank you so much, man. It's like, you know, like, stuff like that really means a lot to me, so thank you for your support, man. Questions now. Question number 1, if Kaba were to achieve Super Saiyan Blue, would he be able to defeat base form Black? Question number 2, I want to know, how do you think Black/Zamasu will die, etc., blow up, sealed away? Question 3, do you have an explanation for why characters scream during power-ups? Question 4, Cell Saga, Super Trunks versus Super Goku. Question number 5, can Hit at his maximum potential beat Black Rose Goku? Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. Question number 6: if Goku and Vegeta surpass Beerus, what episode exactly do you think that'll happen in? Well, first of all, thank you for the questions. Now, to answer your first question, Kaba against Black. I'll have to go with Black because we saw what Black was able to do against Vegeta when he was in his base form, going up against Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. So I'm gonna have to go with Black because I don't think that Kaba would be able to sustain that power for long, nor would I think that he'd be used to it so much. So even if he had the upper hand, Black always seems to improve. So I'm gonna have to go with Black form's base. It's such a confusing thing. Base form Black because we saw what he did to Vegeta. I mean, when he kicked him in the stomach, Vegeta was like, what the hell? So I'm gonna have to go with Black on this one, just because I feel as if Black is really stronger than how we believe he is. Now, to answer your second question, in terms of them dying, now this all depends on when you're watching this video, but shit, if Zamasu is supposed to be an immortal, seal his ass away in the dead zone, right? Like, that'd be pretty cool. No, but I think that in order to kill one, you have to kill the other. And I mean, Zamasu and Black, they seem to be in sync with one another. They seem to have similar fighting styles, similar fighting patterns. So I think in order to defeat them, you're gonna have to take one out first. But the question is who? I feel as if somehow, some way, in my opinion at least, they're gonna have to take down Zamasu first. They're gonna have to take down Zamasu first because they're gonna figure out that probably Zamasu is going to be the source of power behind Black. And thus, if they take down Zamasu, that would leave Black vulnerable. However, it's like, how the hell are you supposed to fight someone who has perfected Goku's powers? That being Super Saiyan Rose. Super Saiyan Rose, I would love to see fight Beerus or a fusion or something like that. But how do I believe this will go down? I think, in my opinion, that in order to put one down, you're going to have to take out the other. So, I think that Zamasu is going to fall first, whether it be they make a wish for him not to be immortal anymore, whether it be for them to create some sort of solution. I do think that the immortality that Zamasu possesses will be revoked from him somehow, and thus making him vulnerable. And I think once taking out Zamasu, they're going to take down Black. That's just my opinion, at least. To answer your third question, the explanation for why people scream when they power up, well, it's actually I believe it's an ancient Asian practice to where they believe that when you scream, it produces energy or something like that, like your chi. It's weird stuff. I'm gonna have to look more into it. I can't really say for sure, but it's like when a lion roars, right? I believe it just gives them more, I would like to say, just energy while they do it. I mean, it's hard to say because I can't come up with a definite explanation as to why they scream. But I mean, shit, it's awesome when they do, because can you imagine if they powered up without screaming? Like, that'd be so dull. A part of what made Dragon Ball was the screaming in a way. So, but in terms of a direct explanation, I'm gonna have to do my homework and find out more info on that. But to answer your fourth question, Super Trunks versus Super Goku. Damn. Well, we never really saw Goku fight, but we saw Trunks fight, and Trunks was able to knock down Cell several times, to where Cell even admitted that he surpassed them in the realm of strength, but not entirely so, because Cell could have done the exact same thing. So I'm gonna have to go with Trunks on this one, because Trunks just seemed like he was in control more with his ultra powers rather than Goku was. So I'm gonna have to go with Trunks on this one. Now, to answer your fifth question, Hit versus Black. Okay, so how the hell are you supposed to have two characters, right, that continuously improve, one-up each other? It's pretty hard, because the amount of damage that Black does to Hit will cause Hit to improve, and the amount of damage that Hit causes Black would cause Black to improve. So it's really hard. It's like a double-edged sword. But I think that if Hit maxed out his potential and kept improving his Toki Tobashi over and over and over and over again, then I'm gonna have to say Hit. But since Black retained Goku's battle memory, Black may already know about the Toki Tobashi, so maybe he has a way to stop it. You get what I'm saying? So it's really hard. I want to go with Hit. That's my gut feeling, but my brain is telling me that Black would also be able to counteract Hit in a way, because he knows of Goku's battle memory. So for me, at the end of this, I'm gonna have to say Hit. But I mean, both of them have never been pushed to their maximum potential before, and we already know that Hit's true abilities, his true power, lies within his killing abilities. So that's freaking scary to have someone who has the powers to kill someone easily combat someone like Black, you know, like that's just crazy having to have the power to kill someone and stuff. So keep in mind, Hit's an assassin, so he doesn't really care that much. But having Hit fight Black, I'm gonna have to lean more towards Hit on this one. Now, to answer your final question, if Goku and Vegeta surpass Beerus, when exactly do I think it's gonna happen? If anything, because I really doubt Akira's gonna do this, but if anything, I do believe that the time where they will surpass Beerus would be at the finale of Dragon Ball Super. That's only if they decide to go down in that direction. However, I really can't see Beerus being, you know, exceeded by Goku or Vegeta, at least not yet, because, I mean, these two still have room to improve, and thus they haven't really perfected their powers either, but in my personal opinion, I'm gonna have to say that they'll never surpass Beerus. If anything, they'll come close to him. But if there was ever a time for them to like just fully surpass him, I would have to say they would probably do it towards the end of Dragon Ball Super. I mean, if anything. So, but anyways, my friend, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a wonderful day, bro. And once again, everybody, thank you all for watching this edition of Dragon Ball Q&A. I truly hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions of your own, or if you guys have different opinions, drop them down below in the comment section. Everybody, thank you all for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for new awesome daily uploads. If you guys enjoyed the Q&A, if you guys cannot wait for more Dragon Ball content, then punch that like button square in the face, guys. Leave your thoughts down below. Tune in for more, and I'll be seeing you all in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys. God bless. Peace.